Good day again to everyone. Now we will be continuing the discussion of the digestive system, and now we are in the small intestine. No? So, small intestine is considered the body's major digestive organ. Okay? Small intestine. Okay. The body's major digestive organ, site for nutrient absorption into the blood. Okay, this is called the major digestive organ because this is now the site for nutrient absorption into the blood. Remember, our goal is to get the nutrients that we need, okay, in order for us to function well. And it is the small intestine who is the one taking all the needed materials going inside the body. The major needed material. So this is a muscular tube extending from the pyloric sphincter to the ileocecal valve. If you look at this now, so if this is our stomach, the last region of the stomach is the pyloric region. And it has a valve called the pyloric valve or pyloric sphincter. So the beginning of the small intestine is here. Okay? And it goes down, okay, and builds here, no? So this is your small intestine and until in the ileocecal valve. Okay, until here. This is the end. So this is your ileocecal valve. So if you notice that ileocecal valve is located in the right lower quadrant of the abdomen. It combines with the cecum, no? The cecum, the first part of the large intestine. So it binds with the cecum. Okay, so this is the end of our small intestine. Okay, suspended from the abdominal wall by the mesentery. Yung mesentery, if you know the tokong, alam mo yung tokong na yan. So, it is connected to that. Okay. So, this is your mesentery, okay? This one. Okay. Sa atin yan, tinatawag na pag niluto, chicharong bulaklak. Chicharong bulaklak. So, this is the mesentery. It contains the mesenteric vein and mesenteric artery. Yan. Okay. So, subdivision of the small intestine. The first one is the duodenum. This is the most talk about here on the parts of the or subdivision of the small intestine. Ito yung pinakabida sa kanilang lahat, no? So, this is the most popular because this is the most active part of the digestive system. Actually, the duodenum is the major part that do the digestion and absorption. Okay? We have the jejunum and the ileum. So, the shortest one is the duodenum. Actually, it is 12 finger breadths, no? That is the length of the duodenum. And the next is the jejunum and then the ileum. Okay, so this duodenum is attached to the stomach and curves around the head of the pancreas. If you look at here, no? Actually, the shape is letter C. Yeah, until here. Okay, that is very short, no? So this is your the duodenum. Okay. So letter C. This is the pancreas. The pancreas is located here. Okay. So the pancreas is here, no? So this is the duodenum. And then the jejunum. Okay. Until here. And then the ileum, the last part. And then they connect here in the ileocecal valve. Okay? Attaches anteriorly to the duodenum and ileum extends from jejunum to the large intestine. Okay, it's very important that you know the subdivision. And the most important part of this one is the duodenum. Okay? So, chemical digestion in the small intestine. Chemical digestion begins in the small intestine. General or most of the chemical digestion begins in the small intestine. So, enzymes are produced by intestinal cells and the pancreas. So, the small intestine also have enzymes, no? It creates enzymes which are called brass border enzymes. Okay? And the pancreas has pancreatic enzyme. Okay? So both intestine or the duodenum and the pancreas has enzyme to digest or to do chemical digestion. Okay? Pancreatic ducts carry enzymes to the intestine. So this pancreas has pancreatic duct. Okay? And also this common bile duct is connected to the pancreatic duct. And both of them secretes the secretion in the duodenum. Okay, bile is formed by the liver and enters via bile duct. So this is the bile duct. Okay? So this is the liver, this is the common bile duct, this is the pancreas, and this is the duodenum. So actually chemical reaction, most of the chemical reaction happens here in the duodenum. So duodenum is the most important part of the small intestine. Okay? So small intestine anatomy. So there are three structural modification that increases surface area. To have more villi, you have to increase surface area. The more surface area, the more villi. The more villi, the more brass border, the more microvilli. Okay, that's the rule. Microvilli is a tiny projection of the plasma membrane. So we cannot see it here, no? There are tiny projection here. In this villi, there is still microvilli. Okay, in which you can see the brass border that contains brass border enzyme that aids in the final digestion. So the final digestion happens in the brass border so that the uh, blood vessel can absorb these nutrients needed by the body. Okay, villi are finger-like structure formed by the mucosa. So these are the villi, no? So the small one are the villi. Okay, circular folds or plicae circularis, deep folds of the mucosa and submucosa. So this one increases the surface area. So there are folds that are made in the surface of the lining of the uh, small intestine. This is to increase surface area. Okay, the more surface area, the more villi. The more villi, the more microvilli. The more brass border, the more enzyme. Okay, that's the rule. So if you look at the villi, okay, this is the content inside the villi. No? So we have blood capillaries. So after absorbing the nutrients, it will go to the blood. And it has also lacteal because some of the lipids, no, cannot go to the blood capillaries. They go to the lymph. So we have the lymphatic vessel here called lacteal. So some of the lipids pass here and go to the thoracic duct and go to the blood, no, in the circulation. Okay? And we have also lymphoid tissue here. Okay? So this is the villi. Okay? So in the villi, we have the microvilli, the brass border. So this is the brass border, wherein it secretes brass border enzyme. Okay? To end the digestion of carbohydrates and protein. Okay? The lipid is already digested in the small intestine and being reabsorbed or absorbed in the lymphatic vessel. Okay, digestion in the small intestine. Enzymes from the brass border functions to break double sugar into simple sugar. So here in the brass border, there is already completion of digestion of carbohydrates. and also completion of some protein digestion. Okay, so this is the end of digestion, and it would be absorption anymore because the nutrients are being digested into their simplest form. Okay, so for the small intestine, we have he has or she has the um, accessory organ to help or to aid in the digestion. First accessory organ is the pancreas, no? Found posterior to the parietal peritoneum. Okay, so it's not inside the peritoneum, but it's retroperitoneal. So this is another organ that is outside the peritoneum. Its location is retroperitoneal. If you say retro, back of the peritoneum. Okay? So extend across the abdomen from the spleen to the duodenum. So if you look at the pancreas, this is the pancreas. Okay? So this is the pancreas. Extend across abdomen from the spleen to the duodenum. Okay. So pancreas produces a wide spectrum of digestive enzyme that break down, look at this, all categories of food. So meaning these enzymes digest protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Okay? Enzymes are secreted in the duodenum. So if this is the pancreas, it secretes its pancreatic juice, which contains pancreatic enzyme, and it is excreted here in the duodenum. Okay? Alkaline fluid is introduced with the enzymes. So this enzyme contains alkaline fluid. So the pancreatic juice contains alkaline fluid that neutralize acidic chyme. Remember, the chyme is coming from the stomach and the chyme is very acidic. So when the chyme enters here, it changes the environment of the duodenum, in which it triggers the release of the pancreatic juice from the pancreas. And this pancreatic juice contains this alkaline fluid to neutralize acidic chyme so that it could not damage the small intestine. Okay? Hormones produced by the pancreas is the insulin and the glucagon. The insulin is secreted by the beta cells and the glucagon by the alpha cells. No? These two helps in the regulation of blood sugar. Okay? So if the blood sugar is high, the hormone insulin is released. Okay? Blood sugar is high. If the blood sugar is low, the hormone glucagon is released. Okay? So, the role of insulin is to bring down the blood sugar into normal level. The role of glucagon is to bring up blood sugar level in the normal level. Okay? Meaning there should be a negative feedback. Negative feedback. Okay? So that's the role of these two, insulin and glucagon secreted by the pancreas. Okay? But pancreas, in relation to the digestion, they are responsible in the final digestion of the nutrients, no? So liver is the largest gland in the body. So another accessory organ, the liver. Okay, it is considered as a gland, and it is the largest gland, located on the right side of the body. Okay, under the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is located here. No, we have the diaphragm here. It's a dome shape. So the liver is located at the under the diaphragm at the right side of the abdomen. Okay, it is consists of 4 lobes. Okay, suspended from the diaphragm and abdominal wall by falciform ligament. Okay, if you will have your duty later on, you can see during the operation, you can see that the liver is suspended. There are ligaments inside, no? connected to the walls of the abdomen. And it is called falciform ligament. Okay, connected to the gallbladder by a common hepatic duct. See, if you look at the gallbladder, usually it's located, or it is really located in the underneath the liver, no? During operation, if gallstones are present in the gallbladder, they will remove this gallbladder. Okay? So, bile is one chemical compound essential for the digestion of fats or lipids, no? They produce cells in the liver. I produce by the cells in the liver, I should say. Sorry. Okay. Bile leaves the liver through the common hepatic duct. So, it's the liver that produces the bile. Take note, it's the liver that produces bile. Okay? Common composition of bile is bile salts, bile pigments. Look at this, no? Mostly bilirubin from the breakdown of hemoglobin. Remember, when the RBC dies, after 120 days, they go to the spleen and being recycled as unconjugated bilirubin, and they go to the liver, no, to be conjugated. That's why, to become part of the bile. Okay? So, cholesterol, phospholipids, and electrolytes. Okay? So, bile are high in cholesterol also, no? So, bile function, emulsify fats by physically breaking large part globules into smaller ones. So, if this is fat, no, the function of bile is to make them in smaller ones so that the pancreatic enzyme can digest them easily. So they aid in emulsification. So the bile is used for emulsification. They are not used for digesting the fats, but they used to be emulsifier. Okay? Gallbladder. Now when the liver produces the bile, it will now store the bile to the gallbladder if you are not needing the bile in the duodenum. Okay, so when the liver is producing bile and it doesn't need bile in the duodenum, the bile is stored in the gallbladder. Okay, so a sac found in a hollow fossa of the liver here, okay, when no digestion is occurring, bile backs up the cystic duct for storage of the gallbladder. So we have cystic duct here. Okay, so when there's no digestion occurring in the duodenum, bile is stored here. Okay, when digestion of fatty food is occurring, so when fatty food are present in the chyme, this now stimulates the release of the bile from the gallbladder. Okay? Bile is introduced into the duodenum from the gallbladder. Gallstones are crystallized cholesterol which can cause blockage. So there are some people who have experienced formation of gallstone inside the gallbladder. So what they are going to do is just to remove it. No, they remove the gallbladder. So here in the illustration, you can see how carbohydrates are being digested. No, so it begins with the mouth. Okay, with salivary amylase. Okay, the starch and the disaccharides are digested and formed into oligosaccharides and disaccharides. Okay, pancreatic enzymes from the small intestine with the release of the pancreatic uh, amylase from the pancreas, okay, also aid in converting this uh, starch and disaccharide into oligosaccharides and disaccharides. Okay? But to complete the digestion of the carbohydrates in the small intestine contains these brass border enzymes. Okay? what are the brass border enzymes? So we have this dextrinase, glucoamylase, lactase, maltase, and sucrase. So these brass border enzymes will turn this lactose, maltose, and sucrose into galactose, glucose, and fructose. Okay? So that is happening with the carbohydrates. Okay, so the carbohydrates, always remember that the beginning of digestion of carbohydrates is in the mouth. Check. Okay, the completion of digestion is in the small intestine with the brass border. So after this one is converted to this simple sugar, the monosaccharide glucose, galactose, and fructose enter the capillary blood in the villi and transported in the liver via hepatic portal vein. Okay, so the story is it is the liver that first tasted this monosaccharide or simple sugar. So siya yung unang kakain niyan. Okay, he will utilize this sugar for its own purpose and the rest will be distributed to the different parts of the body. Remember, the entry of this one is the capillary blood, no? In the villi. Okay? And enter the liver through this hepatic portal vein. So that is the entrance. Okay, for the digestion of protein, no? What happened? Remember that the digestion of the protein starts at the stomach. Okay, by the pepsin, no? Pepsin is the active form of pepsinogen. Okay, so in the presence of hydrochloric acid. So this pepsin now convert protein into large polypeptides, no? Okay. And in the small intestine, it completes some of the digestion of protein. So pancreatic enzymes called trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase, okay, turn this one into small polypeptidase and small peptides. Okay, so for the final digestion, still in the small intestine, in the brass border, through the brass border enzyme, we have aminopeptidase, carboxypeptidase, and dipeptidase will now convert this small peptidase and small peptides into amino acid and some dipeptides and tripeptides. So we will have the amino acid. Now take a look at the route of this amino acid. How will it enter the body? So amino acid enter the capillary blood. The same with the carbohydrates, no? On the villi and transported to the liver via hepatoportal vein or hepatic portal vein. Okay, for the digestion of fats or fat digestion, so the site is the small intestine. Okay, with the aid of our bile, no, that emulsifies the fat to make it smaller, produced by the liver, no, and also in the small intestine by the pancreatic lipase. Okay, so there are no brass border, so it is different. The completion of digestion of fats is already in the small intestine, not inside the brass border. So this will now turn the fats into two categories: monoglycerides plus fatty acid and glycerol plus fatty acid. Take note the route of this one. Take note. Okay, these fatty acids and monosaccharides enter the lacteals. Remember the lacteals? You can find it in the villi. It is a part of our lymphatic system, no? And are transported into the systemic circulation via the lymph. So, the transportation of these monosaccharides and fatty acid are in the lymph, okay, in the thoracic duct. Okay, so glycerol and short-chain fatty acids are absorbed into the capillary blood. So this one is different, no? This is on the capillary blood. So this is the difference, no? It has two products, and these two products went in the body in different route. These monoglycerides and fatty acid enter the body through lymph, and this one naman glycerol and fatty acid enter the body through blood capillary in the villi and transported into the liver via hepatoportal vein. Okay, so these monosaccharides and fatty acid is totally different from the other. They travel in the lymph. Okay. So digestion in the small intestine. Pancreatic enzymes are very essential. They play the major role in digestive function. So they have major digestive function. Help complete digestion of starch. Okay? By the use of pancreatic enzyme. Carry out half of the protein digestion. Okay? And digest fats using lipases. Lipases. Okay, so these are the enzymes that digest lipids. Okay? Digest nucleic acid using nucleases. Okay? So, pancreatic juice also contain alkaline content. Okay, that neutralizes acidic chyme. So, this pancreatic juice that contain pancreatic enzyme and alkaline content are very essential. This part helps in digestion, but this part has a protective function to protect the small intestine from the acidic chyme. So this one now will neutralize the acidic chyme so that it cannot destroy the small intestine. Okay? So, regulation of pancreatic juice secretion. So, how does pancreatic juice being stimulated to come out, no? So, the release of pancreatic juice into the duodenum is stimulated by, first is the vagus nerve, no? So, if you look at this, this is the vagus nerve that is surrounding the pancreas, no? Okay, on also the gallbladder. So we have that one. Okay, so vagus nerve is one of the cranial nerve. Actually, it's the longest. It extends to the digestive organs, no? And also, it is stimulated by secretin and cholecystokinin, local hormones secreted by the small intestine. So the small intestine is the one producing the secretin and cholecystokinin, no? Hormones travel through the blood to stimulate pancreas to release enzyme and bicarbonate-rich product. So these hormones will now go to the blood and circulate. Okay. Let us look at here, no, on number 1. Chyme entering the duodenum. Chyme entering the duodenum causes the enteroendocrine cells of the duodenum to release secretin. So we have two hormones, no? Secretin and cholecystokinin or CKK. Now, after releasing, it goes to the blood. Okay, the CKK and the secretin goes to the blood. Okay, and it now rotates with the blood. It travels with the blood. Upon reaching the pancreas, so when they reach the pancreas, it will now stimulate the pancreas. Okay? CKK induces secretion of enzyme-rich pancreatic juice. So the CKK is the enzyme, or it's the hormone that will stimulate the pancreas to release the enzyme. Okay? While the secretin causes the secretion of bicarbonate-rich pancreatic juice. Okay, so they stimulate, both of them stimulate the pancreas, but it has a specific effect on the pancreas. So for the CKK is to release the enzyme, for the secretin to secrete the bicarbonate-rich pancreatic juice. Okay, so these two are very important in the pancreas. Okay, so again, it travels in the blood, and when it reaches now the liver, ayan, secretin, take note, no? Secretin causes the liver to secrete more bile. So, the effect of secretin in the liver is to make the liver to secrete more bile. While the CKK stimulates the gallbladder to release stored bile to the pancreatic sphincter to relax and allow the bile to enter the duodenum. So, this CKK, okay, the effect is on the gallbladder and on the sphincter here. So, this one now will release the bile, and this sphincter now will be relaxed to open the duct so that the bile will go to the duodenum. Okay. Now, in conclusion, no, the small intestine is an organ that can control the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the liver. Okay? Number 5. Okay, stimulation that by the vagal nerve fibers causes the release of pancreatic juice and weak contraction of the bladder. So, there is also a neural effect, no, that will stimulate the pancreas. Okay, that will stimulate the pancreas to release pancreatic juice and also the gallbladder to release bile. Okay, so this hormone secretin and CKK are the hormones secreted by your small intestine. So these two hormones acts as a controlling chemical to control the three, no, the gallbladder, the liver, and the pancreas. Okay, so secretin causes the liver to increase bile output, and CKK causes gallbladder to release stored bile. So these bile are very important to emulsify the fats. So these two organs, liver and gallbladder, aids in the emulsification of fats. No, so they emulsify the fats. By the way, sorry if I have wrong spelling on my writings because I am only using mouse. No, so there is a shortcut. Sometimes I don't continue the writings. Okay, so just bear with me. No? So fats. Okay, so they are emulsifying the fats. So this one produces. Always remember, no, that the liver is the one producing bile, and the gallbladder is the one um, storing the bile. Okay, so bile is necessary for fat absorption and absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, the KDA. So remember that these vitamins are fat-soluble. So it is very important that the bile will emulsify the fats to become smaller molecule or smaller globules so that the lipase could easily digest the fats. Okay, so absorption in the small intestine. So after turning the nutrients to its simplest form, like the carbohydrates into monosaccharides, protein into amino acids, and fats into lipids, absorption is very important. So here now is the final destination of these nutrients, no? Water is absorbed along the length of the small intestine. So one role of the small intestine is absorption of water, no? And the end products of digestion. So it also absorbs the end product of digestion. Most substances are absorbed by active transport. Now remember that active transport. We have vesicular transport. Okay, we have that one. No? So through the cell membranes. Lipids are transported or absorbed by diffusion. So lipid is different, no, by diffusion. Remember, lipids are absorbed in the lacteal, in the villi, no, and they don't go to the blood vessel, but they go to the lip. Okay, substances are transported by the liver by the hepatoportal vein or lymph. So these lipids are in lymph. The rest of the nutrients are in the hepatic portal vein. Okay. So propulsion in the small intestine. So propulsion is also happening in the small intestine. It is by peristalsis in the major is the major means of moving food in the small intestine. So what does the small intestine do? They do segmental movements or what we call segmentation. That's why segmentation only happens in the small intestine. If you look at here in the illustration, you can see one segment, another segment, another segment, no? So one is empty, one is not. So this process in the small intestine, okay, create a more absorption of nutrients in the chyme. Okay? The mixed chyme with digestive juices. Okay? So chyme is mixed with the digestive juices so that it would be digested properly. Okay? And these segmental movements helps to aid in propelling food. Okay?